Welcome to Thriver TV, the place to break free from narcissistic abuse with quantum tools and understandings. Today's Thriver TV may help you understand trauma at a level that changes everything. And not only changes your understanding of it, but also makes an incredible difference regarding how you can heal from it. These revolutionary understandings are what have made the difference between people merely managing abuse and trauma symptoms or truly recovering from them. Before I share this incredibly vital information with you, I would just like to take a moment to thank everybody who subscribed to my channel for supporting the Thriver mission. And for those of you who haven't yet, please do. And if you like this episode, also make sure that you like and share it. Okay, let's get going. I really want you to understand that yes, our brain is severely affected by trauma. However, that's not the seat of where our trauma is. Trauma isn't logical, it's emotional. It's crucial for you to understand that when we think, talk and research, this cognitive part of our brain is not in contact with our limbic and emotional systems where our trauma is stored. So let's just say these following statements together. I think devastated. I think horrified. I think powerless. All of these statements are coming from the cognitive frontal part of our brain, which is not in contact with our visceral experience inside our body. It's our internal experience that is driving our life, that is shaping it as the people we are, because it's responsible for what we believe about ourselves, life, and others. We think that how we feel is because of our thinking, yet the real truth is our thinking follows our feelings always. And when we go back to those three statements that we just said, our thinking has nothing to do with these feelings. We know that these statements should be, I feel devastated, I feel horrified, I feel powerless. Why? Because these states are feelings. They're not thinkings. The way we are thinking is because these feelings are happening as our inner experience. It's the truth. So to understand our body-brain connection, we need to realize how vitally our feelings control our consciousness and therefore our thinking. When we're experiencing the visceral emotional thinking of trauma, what we discover is that our thinking is not calm, measured, and capable of finding solutions to the feelings that we're experiencing. Rather, we're likely to be thrown into uncontrollable bouts of stinking thinking. What we discover is that our thinking is stuck in the matching experience of our inner feelings. And yet we try so valiantly to change our feelings in our body by trying to force our brain into healthier ways of thinking. But we just can't consistently access and then continue to hold saner thinking. And maybe, no matter how hard we try, we just keep defaulting back to feeling hopeless, helpless, and powerless. And then we think, this is just our lot. And we try fruitlessly to get ourselves out of what seems like a completely traumatizing situation with no end to it. This is normal. And that's why it's so usual to wonder, what on earth is wrong with me? Why can't I get it through my head that this person is no good for me, is destroying me, and that I need to get away and stay away? And we wonder, when we actually do crawl away and stay away, why is it that our head keeps defaulting back to all the thoughts of the trauma, of what happened, and what we could have done differently to not have lived through what we did? It's common to have not just lingering thoughts of regrets, heartbreak, remorse, powerlessness, grief and such. It's also a huge battle just trying to regain and rebuild your life. The reason for this is because the brain is following your body. When there is trauma stuck in your body, in your visceral experience, in your limbic emotional systems, this is hijacking the integrity of your being. It affects your consciousness and the ability for you to open up and access relief, resolution, healing, evolution, solution, and expansion. All of these things have been shut down. It's simply not available at the level of consciousness that your internal trauma is generating for your brain. You've been thrown into the back part of your brain, the amygdala, which is purely focused on survival. This is not a place where a connection to the field, which is all of life, in solution-based, supportive, powerful, and even miraculous ways is available. When we are not thriving as a result of not understanding the body-brain connection, it means that we're trapped in our primitive brain suffering intense traumatic feelings and thoughts that set up horrifying peptide addiction. Until we understand how and why we need to make the shift to put the body in front of the brain, it truly is a prison with no escape. Let's have a look at the shift into our body. The complete irony is that the one place we need to go to the most is the place that we've all been programmed to stay out of. Self-partnering is the only true way home to come back into our bodies with love and devotion, to do the inner healing work, to find, load up, release, and reprogram our trauma so that we live free of it. When we do this, we discover that those feelings of being devastated, horrified, and powerless no longer exist. When we check into our body, instead, there is a feeling of calm, warmth, and even hope and power. Stunningly, we discover that we can experience these feelings without even having to have any physical evidence in the world outside of us to provide us with these feelings. And that is when we start to take our power back. We realize that we literally are grand creators who, through our visceral emotional experience, become the generation of the life that we wish to live. And we may not know it at first, but when we start becoming an emotional experience inside our being, we discover organically that inspiration, hope, power, solutions, and things and people outside of us start reflecting back more of the same. It's then that we realize how much power we have in the creation of our life process. We also awaken to realize that when we are battling a traumatic, visceral experience, trying to get things and people outside of ourselves to change or soothe us in order to try to produce better feelings, that it didn't durably work. It's so ironic that the training that we had to self-avoid and self-abandon, such as don't think about it, distract yourself, get someone to love you to try to take the pain away, eat that food, smoke that cigarette, drink that alcohol, take that pill, jump on social media, watch TV, all of those things meant that our inner trauma remained screaming, was ignored, and it just got bigger and bigger. And then our head tries to cope with it and deal with it. Yet when we went inside with love and devotion and used an effective quantum tool to reach, release, and reprogram our trauma, we discovered that the love we've been looking for all along, the devotion, commitment, and consistency to continually free ourselves of trauma and remember the incredible quantum creators that we really are. We realize it was within us all along. Yet this is only possible when we self-partner ourselves from within. Let's have a look at the relief of self-partnering. You may have seen that Emma Watson from Harry Potter has been talking recently about her experience in being happily self-partnered. And there are people that have criticised this, saying that it's an excuse to try to feel better whilst being single, and that people can't be complete if single, or if they're single, they may not be, and happy about it, they may not be able to connect to other people in healthy ways. Nothing could be further from the truth than these assumptions. The greatest benefit of being self-partnered is that finally you understand the body-brain connection, and you're doing the work of meeting and being with yourself in a deep, intimate way so that you can heal, release, and self-soothe whatever your traumatic inner experiences have been. And what you will discover is when you do that, your brain will automatically follow your body. You will become wise, powerful, centered, solid, calm, and able to access solutions, possibility, expansion, and even miracles. That is what self-partnering in the quantum way produces. When you're prepared to meet the trauma in your body, be with it with love and unconditionally release it. It's not just the ultimate act of self-love. It's a true way to generate your personal evolution, which is the true reason we are here, to wake up. All right, so does this make sense to you? Can you understand now how problematic and even impossible it is to try to think our way out of trauma? If you do, I want you to pause this video and write below, I've woken up. Okay, so now, if you want to learn how to do that in safe and effective, powerful and profoundly liberating ways, then come with me in my free webinar so that I can show you exactly how to get your brain to follow your body healthily. And you can do that by clicking the link at the top right of this video. So I hope that you have enjoyed this Thriver TV episode, and if you'd like to see more of them, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and also click the like button if you enjoyed this, and also share with your family and friends so that we can help other people wake up to the truth. And as always, I can't wait to join in with your comments and your questions below. And also, Aussie peeps, my live Aussie tour where I get to join you in person is coming up so quickly. There are only a few limited tickets left, and you can claim yours by clicking the link with this video. All right, so that's it. Until the next one, and I can't wait to see you on tour, Aussie people. All right, lots of love. Bye-bye.